So in our last video, I talked all about tie-dyeing fabric and getting that PFD prepared for dyeing Kona, and well, I got it. I bought 5 yards of it, and here's my reasoning why. I think I'm gonna cut it into 1¼ inch pieces, because then I can use it in 3-yard quilts and it'll be enough for whatever the cut is, plus making it to 2½ inch binding. That seems to be the happy place of being able to get whatever it needs and then do the binding the size I like it. So that was my thought process. So I'll be able to get 4 of those cuts. And so I got 5 yards, if I didn't say that already. 5 yards of this, ready to party. And I think we'll see how it goes with this tie-dye, and especially with a 3-year-old helping me tie-dye. And even more so, this is kind of the reason why I wanted to go tie-dye, because I got the new 3-yard quilt book last week. And if you don't already watch Matt Cox on MA Couture Crafting, you should. She is all about the quilt shows, all about getting your ear to the quilting ground, seeing what's coming up, what new products, and she's all about these 3-yard quilts, much like myself. But as you can see, she's also about the big and the bold and the bright and the beautiful and all sorts of fun. So I think, one, at some point we're gonna do some curves. Yes, curves in a 3-yard quilt book with some tie-dyed fabric. And I think it's just gonna come out super awesome. So right now it looks very bland next to all this rainbow, bright tulip pink and colorful goodness, but know that that's coming. 3-yard quilts, brand new book that I got before it even released. And we're just gonna have some fun. So stay tuned for that to come up. And I think I'm gonna make more 16 patches. So with my last one, I kind of just grabbed and went, trying to get my colors and seeing what happened. And so I think, if I remember right, that one ended up being about 36 or 32. They were 8½ inches blocked finished before they were sewn in. So 8-inch finished, I guess is the technical word. And so I am gonna keep going with that. I think this next one I wanna do is going to be 5 by 5. So it'll be 5 blocks across, 5 down. So I have to make 25. And I'm kind of toying with a theme. So I'm gonna be a little more themed with this. I kind of wanna do like a dark, like a black or a dark gray, or just maybe that's what'll vary is the black and the dark gray, and then just like bright primary colors like the royal blue, a good purple, maybe some red in this one. The last one you saw, yellow tended to be my consistent color somehow, some way. But this one, I think I'm gonna go into it with a little bit of a plan instead of just chopping my fabric. So I'm gonna go do some of that and we'll get back at it. So while I'm pinning in my back for my first checkerboard 16 patch, let's talk Quiltcon updates. So I got an email saying that the week of the 19th, so this week, we will be finding out all of the information as far as what happened with the system, I guess it said some of the classes had been overbooked because the system didn't know to kind of cut it off and tell it to stop adding people. So I'll know this week if I actually got into all 3 of my classes instead of just maybe getting into all 3 of my classes. And then so it said they would issue refunds, or some people that, like, I guess they were able to register but it wouldn't charge them. So they will have to do stuff as well. So I mean, I saw the charge on my card, so I will either, I don't think I would have to pay any more. But in the event that I did not get into my classes because it overrode and went a little crazy, then I would get priority on the wait list for those classes, it seemed like it said. So, and then after that, they are going to, once they get that all checked off and everything, then they're going to figure out when to reopen registration. So they said that all the payments need to be done by the 22nd. So I think that's Thursday. And so, yes, because Wednesday the 21st is a big deal for us because that is our 3-year since our first date anniversary. So we're gonna maybe go do something. I'll figure out something to do before we go out of town with my family, and all that good stuff. So so in the meantime, I'm playing the waiting game, and fingers crossed and toes crossed that all is good, and that, I mean, yes, it would be nice to get money back just in a financial way, but I mean, I picked all the classes I liked because they seemed interesting to me and I wanted to do them. So stay tuned for Quiltcon update number 3. Actually, I think this is number 2, number 4. I don't know why I'm also procrastinating on booking my flight. I just need to do it. I've got my Airbnb. I know that I'm going. I just need to book my flight. Maybe at my guild meeting. That's what I should do. At my guild meeting, I should find out when people are flying in. But then again, at the same time, I don't know. Because then I'm planning to probably rent a car. So I think what I'm looking at doing is flying in early, as much as I don't want to get up early, but then I'd get up and get to Phoenix at like 10 and be able to shop hop around a little bit, because my Airbnb probably won't be able to check it there until like 4. That's the usual time on those. So, so then I can go to a couple different shops. Last time I only made it to 1. And then tragedy of things getting left in the Uber. But this time, things will be different, or so I tell myself. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And now that this is all loaded in, I'm going to piece some batting together, because why not, if I'm using scraps for the backing. And well, I guess this isn't a scrap. I don't know, this had some fabric, some thread sewed into it, so this may have come off of a 3-yard quilt at some point. But if my top is all scraps and my backing is from a stash, I may as well just scrap up some batting. So I'm gonna go do that, and then we'll get back to time-lapsing some quilting on that cute little 16 patch. I just wanted to show you my personal favorite on this scrap batting work of art. This nice diagonal scar going across. Now you've got all these other ones. Like, it gets real wild. I know some people have said, like, oh, you don't have to piece them, just lay them together. Like, I'm getting wild over here, guys. I have to piece this, or it's gonna be chaos. Even more chaos than this looks. So let's get to work. So everything is all basted in, and I got a new pantograph that I'm very excited about that I wanted to give a try on this quilt. It may be a little wild, it may be a little 90s kid, but I think it's going to be so awesome. So let me show you. So this is called Let's Go Have a Party or something like that, and I don't know, something about it. It was on the homepage of Urban Elements, but it just spoke to me. And so these are sized about 1.5 inches, which is a little bit smaller than the squares. So I think it's gonna look super awesome. I have a yellow thread because there's a lot of yellow on here. It may be too yellow, like it may be too light, but this is all about playing and having fun. So we're gonna see what happens. Okay, so it's a little wild, it's a little crazy, but I love it. And on top of that, I emptied out 2 bobbins of randomness. So they weren't, I mean, they were matching, but random. So it's the linen that I had, and I used that on the back, and the lemon ice, something yellow that I did on the front, yellow whisper, I don't know. But I think it's really fun. So I'm gonna go trim this up and then go ahead and set it aside because I still got to go back and keep finishing up the second version of this quilt. I'm not going to bind it just yet because part of me is wanting to go extra crazy and do a scrappy binding, but I don't know if my sanity should be pushed that far. So let's go trim this up and then go back to my regular machine to get back to other checkerboards and see what fun we can come up with. So as scattered as this part of this video is, now that we're wrapping things up, for today, we've got this checkerboard variation all quilted and ready to go. And then our next ones, of course I've got like the pumpkin looking one on top. I've got 13 with the black as the main color, and then 12 with the Gotham gray as the main color, as the dark. So I have a vision, I have an idea for how these are going to rainbow out together. I did this one a little bit more strategically than this, so I am very excited. So next time we're going to come back, we're going to get this all quilt topped and probably a backing and quilted on there. So I have more of this. I also have this in a couple other colors, so I think that'll work because these are all fun and bright. So I'm like a checkerboard groove right now, but I also need to start working on some other projects. So this may be the next brain break and then on to other projects, but it's fun. We all need a little brain break every now and again. So we'll see you next time. And I'm off to guild meetings this weekend and hopefully having some quilty fun and then family in town next week.